Danganronpa.
Okay, let's get this class trial started. Truth bullets. Hifumi. I think it could be Celeste. I don't know why. One, the motive, because she's a gambler. Two, she found the bodies. When we tried to get into that room, it was closed. I don't know. Let's start up. Trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So if you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
I hit the key too early.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Oh, Hina, don't fall for this.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
He doesn't have an alibi, that's true. But there's no way he could have done it. That suit is too heavy. You can't bend in that suit, and you can't get out of it without assistance.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
Hina, calm down!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
I don't think Hiro could have done it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Look who's talking. Pot, meet kettle.
Who are you calling a murderer?
Even he admits it.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence.
Hifumi did say his name at the end.
Blueprints for the suit.
Yeah, just because those are in his room doesn't mean they're his. They could have been Hifumi's.
Parts we assume were used to build it.
Does he really look like the type that would be a fan of the giant robot of justice?
And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
But here's the thing. The rooms are opened whenever a case is started. Every room in the entire place gets opened. Girl or boy. That's how the boy and girls' locker rooms were opened during the Chihiro case.
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Dude, I believe you. You're not the killer.
I don't know!
Is Hiro... He is not the killer, Makoto. I have a strong belief it's not him. Okay.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
Try to think. What did Hero say? Okay, so we got
Everything
this.
we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough
Shit.
that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Just getting these, get my...
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second.
I know what it's gotta be the
Everything we
blueprints.
found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
No, that's
Yeah! The handwriting's different.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Let's look at Exhibit A. The letter and the blueprints.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared.
Makoto, don't. The bear is right there.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
That's literally chicken scratch.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
It's clear as day.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
Even then, it'd be pretty hard.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
He admits it, he's dumb as shit.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
No, I don't.
And he is not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Wow, Byakuya coming out of left field.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit?
Well, he was unconscious. You could have faked the picture.
Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
No. If there was a second suit, we would have found it by now.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passed. Of course he does.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Hero, Hina, the illusionist? I'm gonna go with Hero.
I got it!
He was out cold.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
Yeah, no one else can fit in that thing.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
So,
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
cause he was out cold.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
It was just a red herring.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Oh, I bet he does.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Which is...
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
That's Byakuya in a nutshell, Hina. He does that regardless.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
He knows that as well.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
A blue mat and the trolley.
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Why do you pass it to me?
I got it!
There's still one more thing. Oh yeah, the mat.
I got it!
2 for the price of
They
1.
were a dolly and a tarp, right?
Uh-huh. Don't go to me. What's with that? Yeah.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room.
That's
And
right.
then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Exactly.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
That was in there as well.
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
What did we find? A dolly and a mat.
so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right?
Oh, yes.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
How are we mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Well, I think it was.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room.
Well, no one needed to use it until... Like, no one's done any art stuff, and it was definitely in there the last time we saw it.
It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
What is with this chick?
Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
You dirty jackass.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
You smug bitch. And here I thought Bianchi was a bastard. You're just a bitch.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow. She's a killer. I call it now. She's a bitch and she's a killer. Bianca, you're now second bitch. She's big bitch. Oh, fudge. Another new... Fine. Let's talk about the run. Okay. Always with the new gimmicks in every new class trial. Making your seem your... Okay. Up until now, there hasn't been really a limit to how... ninjas... Okay. But from now on, just lock... Wouldn't be enough... What? Now it will cost you one bullet... It will cost you one bullet to destroy... Really? So I have a limit to my bullets now. So I have to make every shot count. This is gonna take me a couple attempts, I just know it. If your actions definitely you won't have all red at all. Okay. Like I said, well, good luck. Why does this game throw new rules at me every time it gets a chance? Okay.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere.
Oh, fuck,
Do
Nugget.
your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable
Fuck's sake, I'm gonna die!
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
I can't handle all
You miserable
this.
wretch.
I'm out of bullets.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
How do I...
So bad.
I can't... Oh my god, I have a limit to my bullets and I can't fire. How do I... Left shift?
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
And the time's up. Fail. Okay, let's try that again! How do I become... Seriously, I just get something wrong and next thing you know, I get targeted as the killer.
I refuse to give up yet.
Good thing my heart's recovered. As long as I don't give up. I'm probably missing something. I know it's gonna take me a few attempts.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Okay, I don't... Is there a way for me to reload my thing? I don't... Look, my reading's very bad. Log on. Left mouse click to attack. Yes. Reload. ATB. I don't know what... Oh, tab! Oh, that's what it was. Okay. I am a horrible reader. I'm dyslexic, so I get away with it.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
Oh my god, I lasted...
cannot agree.
I lasted
This
that
should
long!
prove it.
I did it! I just need to learn how to reload! That's all it took!
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Which is... Oh, the bloodstains!
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it.
And there's blood marks in the equipment room that roll out.
There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly
Yeah,
wheel's
boy.
tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository.
That's my boy.
So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Oh, she don't like that. Jeez, does Slush really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
You could have jumped in and helped me, you know.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then...
It's a killer costume woman. First ghosts, now killer robots.
what kind of robot is it?
A suit!
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
He can't bend.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
It's the way the suit is. It's too bulky. Okay. Robo-Justice costume. Let's do this.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yes.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, But even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
That's it.
Then you could push the
Fuck.
dolly no problem. So the killer just crouched down and carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything we just said, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit couldn't possibly be the culprit.
Sorry, I don't think I realized anything.
You were wearing the damn thing.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room,
Correct.
and from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Oh, my bad. Too early. I shot my fires too early. Sorry, Hina.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room, and from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Yes.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong.
You can't bend in it, remember?
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Unless you were a transformer, you ain't gotta do it.
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
It's too... You can't even move in it. Also, you look goofy as hell in that, Hina.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist.
Exactly.
Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Well, how would you get the body on it?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, and how do you expect someone to put a body onto that dolly as well?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
That's where you can't get it off. You can't take it off without someone getting you out of it. Feel's not that strong enough. You can't take the suit off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
Hero needed us to get him out. He was trapped in there like a rat. Yeah, clothes is from the outside, so there's no way you could get that off unless you had someone helping you out.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
No.
Of course I wasn't making it up.
And I had your back from the very beginning, bro. Also, Hina, you owe him an apology. You are calling bloody murder.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
Exactly.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
Oh, for the love of, it's really, really true that Hero could move the dolly, not Robo Justice.
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
Correct, Sakura.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took?
The pit... That is true. We saw a picture of Hifumi being taken by Robo Justice. Real quick question. I'm pretty sure that was taken in the rec room and from the other side. Yeah!
You all got a good look at it, did you not?
Oh,
The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Now here's the question. If Hifumi was being dragged away by Robo Justice, how did you end up with those bruises? Answer me that, Celeste.
If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Simple. It was staged.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
True. How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, what?
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question.
Is it?
The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
You are very forceful on this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Oh, for the love of God, Hina. Thank God you're hot, but God damn it, you are dumb as shit.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility?
Kyoko's right.
Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Exactly.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
First off, I love a series of unfortunate best book series, and I love the Netflix series as well. Not sponsored, but I do love them.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
That's a good question, too.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning.
Right, we were all in the dining hall.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
Morning time.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Well, I was already upstairs, so...
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice.
Robot in disguise.
It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library.
Correction, Byakuya and genocide, but yeah, I get what you mean.
He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect.
Why we didn't leave anyone whip him to keep an eye on him is beyond me.
But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. It all points back to you seeing that one shadow. That would have given Hifumi enough time to fake his death. My God, this trial is so
Celeste
obvious.
told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
How, though? And it was a very interesting scream for her.
and then
Hifumi died. Supposedly.
that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
One group went looking for the assailant, and the other group went back to the nurse's office.
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office,
Uh-huh.
while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
True. But couldn't that have been for Taco?
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time.
Almost the same time, huh?
Because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room.
Yeah.
So we hurried back again.
Oh yeah, it was technically Toko. Then she went genocide on us. This can't be happening.
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
Everyone do the Michael Jackson zombie dance. Come on!
And after some time,
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Yeah, Celeste found the bodies. After I tried to get into that very room we found the bodies in.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Uh-huh.
I think that about covers it.
Pretty much.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
Oh, by far. We were running left and right, up and down. I'm pretty sure we made our daily quota of losing calories.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Planned?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Well, let's see then. Monokuma file. The 3rd.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka
Do we?
came last
what makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
Yes.
while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
No. According to the file, there was something different about the file.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
Sugar.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Okay, yeah, it was the first one. My bad.
Shoot!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
What?
Shoot!
Don't tell me it's one of these bullets where I have to scan then. Oh, good God.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
There we go. It was that.
It's wrong.
It was one of these bullets.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Exactly.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
It was another red herring.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Uh-huh.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Well, I guess the glasses would be a good enough proof. Oh, not another spelling one. I'm horrible at these. I can't spell to save my life. W-R-T-T. Ah, fudge nuggets. Like I said, can't spell to save my life. Come on, we know how this. You know how this is gonna go. I'm not giving up. No
I
freaking
refuse
way.
to give up yet.
Never give up. Okay, let's try this again. I will try to spell with my best of interest. Okay, so it's W-A-W-R-T. So we don't need another T, but I think we. Okay, no C's. An S. Nope. Oh god. I can't. Oh, fudge you. W. A. Okay, watch.
Now I understand.
That was luck. That was pure luck.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch.
So that's what I was spelling. I couldn't spell that to save my life if I wanted to. That was dumb luck.
See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
He was going Super Saiyan. It's almost 10, you know, yep, you know bedtime, so. And he's a strict
so
rule
if it
follower.
wasn't broken after 6 last night,
But 6
then
in
he
the
must have
morning.
been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
Uh-huh.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
Yep.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
Damn you, hammers!
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
Which got us confused.
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
Oh, yeah.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's true.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Huh? What was that? We keep going back to this cutscene over and over again.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko.
True. But there's still the matter of his glasses.
Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
Did we, though? Did we find his body, or did we find him pretending to be dead?
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on.
I don't think so.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
It's what he do. He's a fortune teller after all. Hey-oh, shots fired!
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared.
Had it disappeared, or had it moved on its own?
When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct?
Correct.
And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wow, she actually considers herself Toku now.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Not her style.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body.
Yeah, that he's a big boy.
Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
True.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
She would admit if she killed someone.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
You gotta tell us where you were?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
True.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Rearrange the words slightly. Just move the W across one.
In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
Simple. It moved by itself.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it.
Which is very hard not to know someone dragging a body.
But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Even Makoto admits that he's fat.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Unless it was Chihiro. Like, if it was Chihiro's corpse, that would be like lifting a pile of paper.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
Ooh.
What? How?
Speak, girl.
If the dead body were to move itself.
She knows it too.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
It technically wouldn't be a ghost, it'd be a zombie.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
He faked his death.
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
He was playing possum.
That It isn't possible.
Well, we found plenty of blood, and it was the nurse's office. You could get plenty of substitute blood. I think it is possible.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yeah.
No, it is impossible.
How is it impossible?
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Oh, really?
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
But that happened at the same time.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Damn it! I just keep...
Shoot!
Here we go again. Here we go again with the fails. Fails for days, people! Like, if you slip up, this game will hit you in the face. The trials get a lot harder. No.
I refuse to give up yet.
Give me my free hearts. I'm gonna get a horrible ranking in this, but eh. Maybe I need to do a scanner. Broken watch.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
Uh-huh.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Yes, signal Hifumi!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I mean, one did happen after we found both their bodies.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
That's true.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
I doubt that bear. That bear takes pride in his work.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail.
Really?
But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That's right.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No. If 3 or more people found a dead body. Hifumi wasn't dead, but Taka was.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Yeah, even Bianca gets it.
Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Yeah, when we found both their bodies.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Just after it came back from Hifumi's life, when Taco was found, we both the bodies.
Got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
A body has been discovered! After a few minutes have passed and you get your stuff together, the class trial will begin! Have fun, kids!
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually
Still alive.
being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet.
No.
Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know!
Which, what do you know, Jen?
Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom! That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
It's coming from a genocidal Jill.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Oh, his glasses.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Uh-huh. Well, the fact that he came back alive after he had already been dead is very questionable. Hifumi's glasses. There we go.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Correct.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Oh, there is. His glasses.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
He could see.
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
Exactly.
But when we found him again later in the repository,
They were clean.
they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot.
That he very much liked. I gave him a figurine and everything.
One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right?
Uh-huh.
And whose digital camera was it?
Hifumi's.
Of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
Yeah. Weird anime name, but very, very not uncommon for anime to go with weird names like that.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Oh, yeah.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
Well, a genocidal idiot, Byakuya, and Hifumi.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Exactly.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
True.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
Hifumi faked his death.
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
Really?
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
Yeah, how would he see?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see.
I can see.
Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
The impossible becomes possible, kids.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Oh no, it was real blood, but it was in the fridge.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies.
Oh yeah,
He
blood
probably
transplants.
used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere!
Nice touch.
But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Yeah, I couldn't get in.
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
Yeah.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
And who found the body?
Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Oh,
But that means he took part in the murders.
Uh-huh.
I just can't believe it.
And who here did Hifumi pretty much worship like a god or goddess in this point?
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Go for it.
There's more?
Oh yeah, there's more.
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
That would be the letter. No, not okay.
Shoot!
What did he take? That letter.
I got it!
My bad, wrong letter.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Yeah.
Hidden note?
Oh,
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
Well, Kyoko found it stuffed in his pants. I kept my distance.
What? In his pants?
Girls, calm yourself.
Yes, his pants.
Don't do that, Sakura. Don't. That makes you creepy now.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole. Make sure to take it. We can take to escape. More I can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go.
Uh-huh.
Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
That's because it wasn't for you. It's for Taka.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
No.
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
In cold blood.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection!
What? I'm on a roll.
I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right?
True.
So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Happy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
I think so.
Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Because you speak in riddles and you've got sharp things. Okay, let's hear it. Now we got multiples. Okay. Hifumi's glasses clean kit. Broken watch. The broken watch, perfect.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter!
Oh, it does. The watch.
The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong.
Take that, genocide.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
His watch, silly.
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch.
Uh-huh.
But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
That was easy enough.
And someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Hiding the evidence.
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Yeah, we didn't find it after I got there and told everyone that Hifumi had died.
Huh? He stole it?
Uh-huh. It would have been proof.
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The torn bit. There we go.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
To dear life.
If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is...
The same.
I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note
Are one and the same.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip,
Uh-huh.
leaving behind only one small scrap.
That scrap's more than enough evidence.
Did I get all that right?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head, girl.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact,
he
was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
In fact, you're a dumbass. He's dead. The announcement went off, remember?
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
After his final words.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Who found the bodies?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
Danganronpa.